Hey, hi, hello. Welcome or welcome back. I'm Heather, or Miss Postway if you're one of my students, and this is Pages with Postway. This is October's wrap-up. Yeah, it's been a minute. Apparently, I just didn't post in October, really. So I had a great reading month, but I had a lot of life in, and so didn't really get videos done. I actually have several that I want to do, and one of them is to kind of say thank you and kind of celebrate the fact that I'm at 500 subscribers. I'm so surprised. I'm so thrilled. I'm so excited. Yeah, 500 subscribers. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I'm going to save the rest of that for another video and just kind of wrap up October because I have a ton of books to talk about. So I read a ton, and I'm only going to talk about the middle grade and YA here today. So it felt like a really good reading month. I think I just disappeared into books. I actually participated in a reading challenge, and that kept me going and that kept me motivated and pushed me to finish some things that I probably would have left off. I'm really weirded out by my nails. I'm sorry. They look a mess. They're horrible, but it was part of a Halloween costume that I have not yet gotten rid of. So yeah. Anyway, let me start with my first book that I want to talk about, and that was To Night Owl from Dogfish. This was a very interesting, cute novel with actually a bunch of point of views. The whole book is done in basically letters and emails back and forth from all the characters. It was heartwarming. It's from two different authors that I appreciated that. I kind of have a qualm. I don't know if I really want to talk about it. So I guess I'll talk about it. If I don't want to put it in the video, I will take it out. My qualm is that if you are going to have a person of color be a main character, and you have two authors, and their background's kind of important, maybe we should share that background. Okay, I said it. Okay, what did I like about it? It's unexpected. It's very unexpected. I thought we were kind of getting, it kind of prefaces itself almost as like a Parent Trap kind of situation. The two girls end up going to summer camp together because their dads have met and are starting a relationship, and they want the girls to get to know each other. So they send them off to a summer camp. Complications ensue, and the story is not what you think it is. And the characters are imperfect, and they're darling in their imperfectness. I gave this one 4 stars. I really did enjoy it. If you are doing any kind of bingo board with your reading, because I know sometimes we do that, this one not only has multiple point of views, but it's written in letters. And sometimes those are things where, like a book that's written in a multimedia format, if you're looking for something that fits that. So this would work for that. The next one I read is because I've got a vlog coming. Okay, now that I've said that, I have to really do it. I had this brilliant idea in September that I was going to do like a 2-week vlog, and it took me all month, and I'm still finishing one book, which is why the vlog never came out. But this is part of that, and it's one of the reasons I read this book. So I actually talk a little more about this one in depth in another video, so I'm not going to go too far into it, and I promise to get that vlog up soon. But this is Monster Locker. It is by Georges Aguirre and Andres Vera Martinez. It is a graphic novel. It was a lot of fun. It's set in middle school, and our friend here has a monster portal in his locker. And the first monster who comes through, I'm gonna murder the name. So it's Pablo who has the portal in his locker. He's got two friends, Maggie and Takashi, and they are there to help him. And the first monster that comes through is the goddess Quataluki. Oh, I'm messing that up. I practiced for when I talked about this book, I promise. Anyway, it was cute. A lot of really cool like information and very cool monsters that were in it. And I gave it 4 stars. So yeah, I wouldn't mind having that one in my classroom. I think that the kids would really enjoy it. Hey kids, do you think you'd enjoy that? The next one that I read, I really enjoyed. It's got all kinds of awards. I've been wanting to read this for a long time, so I'm really glad that I finally did this. It is Too Bright to See. It's by Kyle Lukoff, and this is my second book by him. Really enjoyed it. Unexpected. This book deals with grief and, wait for it, ghosts. I read books with a ghost in it and I enjoyed it. So it wasn't too scary, but we are kind of dealing with a main character here who loses their uncle. And they lived in this house with their uncle and their mom, and their uncle has passed. And you are watching this character go through the grief process. And the ghost is trying to tell them something. I am not going to go into detail on this because I do not want to ruin it for anyone. It was a delight. It was an absolute delight. I am slowly finding that Kyle Lukoff is actually one of my favorite authors, and I have another book of his that I want to read. This is a trans author, and it was a really great story. I loved it. I did. So yeah, that's where we're going to leave that. So 11-year-old bug, kind of figuring out a little bit about who they are. Delight. 4 stars. Then, so I'm doing this thing. With my students at school. I don't know if I told you this before. At the beginning of the year, the kids wrote out a book recommendation. They had to fill out this whole thing that talks about their reading experience and their background, that kind of thing. It just helps me to get to know them better. And I asked them for recommendations. So if they had any books that they thought Miss Postlewaite might enjoy, to pop them on there. And then I wrote them all on little slips of paper, typed them out, and put them in here. Supposedly those are all different classes, but I can't remember which class is which, so it's just been whatever. But I have now read 2 books from the jar. So the first one, because I really would not have picked it otherwise, it just was not on my radar, and that is The Nazi Hunters. I'm kind of putting together a video that kind of talks about all of these, so I'm really not going to go too much into it, but it was picked by one of my students. There's the tag, and he knows who he is. And when I pulled it, it actually just said World War II novel. And so I had to go and chit chat with him and I say, hey, can you give me a specific book that you'd like me to read? He chose this one. It's nonfiction. I kind of a history focus on the capture of a notorious Nazi that was living in South America, and I forgot which country he was hiding in. For some reason, I want to say maybe Argentina. I could be wrong. But yeah, it's a true story. They hunted him. I liked it. It's a fat, like, for being nonfiction, and not being a passion project for me this time around. It actually read very fast. So I gave it 3 stars. It was enjoyable. Yeah. So I finished that one and I picked another. So I picked another one. This time, the young lady that I pulled, and there's that one, suggested I read Tuck Everlasting. I haven't read this in like 20 years. So it's like 20 years ago that I read this book. And it was a delight. It's very short. I really enjoyed it. I was kind of surprised at kind of the depth that this one is, because I know that a lot of times this is a good choice for middle grade. 5th and 6th grade is probably the age range I would put this one at for kids to read together. What If You Could Live Forever? I remember bawling my eyes out the first time I read this one. I was okay this time, so maybe I've grown, I don't know, harsh in my old age, but I did enjoy it. I gave this one 4 stars. So that led me to pick another one out of my jar, but you don't get to hear that one yet because I haven't read it yet. So, but I felt kind of proud of myself. I'm catching up. That's 2 down. We'll see how many I can get this year. Which leads me to my next one. This one is definitely YA. I would not suggest this one for middle grade. It's Last Night at the Telegraph Club. I read this one and actually the Too Bright to See for Banned Book Week. So both of these were my banned books. And this one has made the top of the list, not the top, but like the top 10, 2 years running, I believe. I loved it. This is actually my 5-star read of the month. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. It's set in, I want to say the 1950s, and 1954, and highlights 2 young ladies in high school who are kind of figuring some things out. They come from 2 different worlds, kind of fall in love in a time and place where that's about as dangerous as you can possibly imagine. So I loved it. It was so good. Highly recommend. Again, YA. This is probably, I would probably put it at 15 plus would be my age range there, but really enjoyed it. Okay. This is also for a blog that I'm doing. I don't know if you can figure it out from this yet, but maybe. It is M is for Monster, and graphic novel, kind of cool. And this one is a gender bend Frankenstein kind of play with that storyline. It tweaks it a little bit. We actually have sisters, and kind of recognizing that it's okay to be yourself despite the expectations other people have on you. And if you would like to maybe relate to the monster, this is a very good book. I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. The last book that I read, see, I did so good. The last book that I read this month, and I just barely finished it at the very end of the month, was Crenshaw by Kathleen Applegate. So this book I've had on my shelf for a while. I actually just had a student of mine who is reading it right now, and I was kind of looking at it and thinking I'd really like to read that. With the way the world is right now, and some of the things going on in the US where we're very worried about people having enough to eat, this book is extremely apropos. It follows a family. The little boy, I really want to say his name is Jack maybe. He's trying to figure out, his parents are not telling him, they're not talking to him, but the way the story plays out, he's hungry a lot, and they're selling their stuff, and there's just some scary things going on, and there's just never enough food. Suddenly, his invisible friend from when he was little has kind of come back, and that's who Crenshaw is. So on the cover, you saw the big giant cat, and Jackson's a little bit of an old soul in a young body, and he likes science, and he likes things that he can prove, and He really cannot figure out why Invisible Friend is here, and he's annoyed by that whole thing. He just wants a scientific explanation for everything. But Crenshaw's really there to help him with some hard stuff that's going on. And this book was sweet and tough, and I feel like it's a really good one. It's a really good one to hand somebody if your family's struggling right now. That maybe somebody can recognize that they're not alone when it comes to not having enough food in the cupboards, maybe being scared about where you're gonna live. And it was sweet and well done, and I enjoyed it, and it was 4 stars. And so how many books is that? I did 8, and if you can believe it, I read more than that because I read a bunch of adult books too. So yay me. That's probably my best month this year. So okay, good. I'm excited for what's coming up next and kind of maybe where the channel's gonna go. I kind of have some ideas for some direction shifts that might be happening here, and I thought I'd share more about that in my celebration video, and maybe pick your guys' brains. Those of you who have been with me for a long time, thank you so much. But maybe you could help me kind of see where I might be taking this channel. So for the next 500 people, who knows? Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for chatting with me. Please feel free to leave comments. I love talking to you guys. And I'm glad you're here. Did you see a book you want to read? Yeah, okay. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye, guys.